Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is John Amabile, author of the book Changing the Worlds, the for-profit plan to mine asteroids and terraform 2 planets in 1 human lifetime. This video is about how America's existing nuclear waste can be used to propel mankind into the solar system. A typical way the government functions is to spend a fortune creating a problem. Then they spend a fortune studying the problem. Then they spend a fortune trying to fix the problem, which they usually don't. Then they can reasonably claim to be experts at a problem because they created it, studied it, and have spent decades failing to fix it. Nuclear waste is the byproduct of our current nuclear reactor design. We can only use our nuclear fuel rods to about 5% of their capacity. So once the rods get down to 95% energy, they are not useful in the reactors, and they become waste. For various political reasons, we are not doing anything to fix this on our planet. There is, however, a wonderful way to solve this problem a short distance away from this planet. 1 kilogram of uranium holds 3 million times the energy of 1 kilogram of rocket fuel. A kilogram of nuclear waste holds 2.85 million times the energy of 1 kilogram of rocket fuel. The US government is planning to spend $100 billion to store our nuclear waste, which is to say, to bury it. After spending $10 billion on a storage facility in Nevada, there was opposition from people in Nevada against using it, though of course I doubt that the state of Nevada will be asked to refund the government for the site's construction. I've heard that Aeros 433 is pretty nice this time of year. America has a 68,000-ton nuclear opportunity. Most states in Europe have some nuclear waste. I shudder to think how much Russia has. It could be 3 to 10 times this number. Of course, the strongest case for buying anything with stock shares is that it is an object people are spending a lot of money to dispose of. We could probably charge some of these states for giving us a millennia of nuclear fuel. The idea of having tens of thousands of space vehicles and nuclear smelters all over the solar system might sound like science fiction. But I think it should be a crime that we have already spent trillions of dollars to fuel a huge fleet of space vehicles, to smelter entire cities and asteroids, to create space stations, and even travel to the back of this solar system. The problem is that instead of using the trillions of dollars of fuel that we've created, we plan to spend an extra $100 billion to bury it, not simply on our own home world, but in our own country. The 68,000 tons of nuclear fuel, which everyone else calls nuclear waste, is more than enough uranium to accomplish the first 40 years of my plan, even without opening up a uranium or thorium mine on 21 Lutetia or 16 Psyche. This material can propel us to the main belt and back thousands of times. This can melt debris in Earth's orbit and turn it into space stations. This fuel can smelter asteroids and extract gold. We can extract 50,000 kilometers of thin superconducting material for the Venusian and Martian Helmholtz coils. We would be in adjacent star systems by the time we run out of nuclear fuel. We can mine, smelt, and build the fusion devices we'll need to remake Mars and Venus in the shape of the Earth. We can build thousands of nuclear thermal rockets and fill them with fuel before we send them off. We can make ships the size of cities, and cities like mortal man has never seen. There is a tiny risk of an accident while flying this material to space, but we've tested this on the nuclear thermal rocket, and we designed a system without leaks. We can also fly a small amount up each time, so even if there was a crash, it would only have a small effect in a small area for a short time. Nothing leaked at all from the nuclear thermal rocket test crash, which was done with 1970s technology. Of course, the safety risk of launching nuclear waste has to be weighed against the safety risk of keeping it here. The market price of the material will also ensure proper launch and safety protocol. If Space Corporation needs 10 kilograms of uranium for smelter operations in high Earth orbit, losing a payload would have a huge cost. We also have a market advantage for communities comfortable with launching nuclear waste near their towns. Currently, we have only a small number of launch facilities, and some of the people in these cities are opposed to nuclear material going into space from their area. If, however, we offered a large cash reward to any city comfortable with doing this, even if we launched it from the middle of an ocean or the top of a mountain in the middle of a desert, the free market will take care of any hesitation that people have for having nuclear material in their vicinity. So ultimately, do we want thousands of tons of radioactive material on this world for 1,000,000 years, or do we want $300 billion a year, space stations, moons, asteroids, and 3 worlds without nuclear waste? Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can buy my book at my website and on Amazon. Thank you and have a good night.